What it is, everybody? We are back with another video. Woo! And you know what time it is? It's time for another death battle. Shit. Oh, I haven't screamed or yelled in a while. I didn't even yell that loud. Oh, maybe that water hit my throat. Oh, it's time for another death battle with Optimus Prime versus Gundam. Now, I'm a big fan of Optimus Prime. Ah! Shit. Whew. Okay. I'm a big fan of Optimus Prime and Mobile Suit Gundam. I watched Mobile Suit Gundam when it used to come on. It used to come on late at night, then they changed it to like early, well not early afternoon, but like mid-afternoon on Cartoon Network. At first they had it on Adult Swim. Now this was in Mississippi, mind you, so I don't know, maybe you lived in another area and they had a different time, or whatever, or it didn't come on Adult Swim, but I remember it came on late at night. Was it late? That late? Anyway, it came on late and then they changed time, came on early. Anyway, that's irrelevant. But I've always said Optimus Prime can kick any Mobile Suit Gundam's ass. I'm going with Optimus Prime on it. Even though I like Mobile Suit Gundam, or Gundam, there's been multiple versions of this manga. If it is I don't know if it's a manga. I assume every anime was a manga at some point. That's why they got so popular that they made an anime. But I'm sure it had to be a manga. It had to be. But they have so many versions. But Mobile Suit Gundam was my version that I watched when I was young. Or younger. I wasn't like young. I mean, I was a teenager. That was my thing. Transformers is something I watched when I was a very small child because they started doing reruns of the old show, like the old 80s cartoon when I was a kid on TV, and I started watching them. And of course, Beast Wars was kind of how I got introduced to Transformers. I mean, I heard about my brother had like all the old cartoons on like VHS tape. Cause I saw the Transformer movie like back when I was a little kid. But Beast Wars was my kind of thing. It was my like something I watched every day show. And then I remember the original Transformer show. They started showing that on TV, and I started watching that like that because I remember they put that on the old He-Man and Thundercats. And that's when I first saw Thundercats. And I thought, all this was awesome shows. I mean, they old, but to me, they were still, I mean, because this was early 90s. So, talking about some of the 80s, and I mean, the spillover is still there. So, it's not like when 90 hits, everything that was 80s is just thrown out and is not referenced or influences anything in the 90s. Like, that's not how stuff works. That's not how culture works. But yeah, like I said, Optimus Prime is my guy. He's gonna win this, and we're gonna get this shit cracking because it's just like 20 minutes long. So, without further ado, Autobots, roll out.
Across this vast world of different nations with different people, it is the clash of opinions which truly divides us.
What is this?
However, there is one universal truth which absolutely everyone can agree on.
Oh, somebody.
Giant robots are freaking awesome! Like Optimus Prime, the original G1 Transformer.
And the RX-78-2, the original
Optimus
Mobile Suit Gundam.
These aren't just any robots, they're the old school classics, the first of their kind, and we're in for a robo battle of East versus West.
Well, Optimus was originally a Japanese toy.
He's whiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to
A
find
lot
out
of
who would
stuff
win
started
a
out as
death battle.
toys back then. It became like cartoons.
Millions of years ago, on a distant planet called Cybertron, a great unrest grew between two factions of robotic beings, the Decepticons and the Autobots. With little warning, they found themselves entangled in civil
Transformers?
war.
Led by that
Megatron!
douchebag Megatron, the Decepticons started gunning down any bot they pleased for basically no reason, including some guy named Orion Pax, which will be important later.
He looked like
Rest in
Optimus.
peace, bro.
What Megatron didn't know was that this seemingly random encounter would end up reshaping the universe.
Thanks to a robot
Damn it,
Gandalf,
it's in my
Orion
eye.
Pax was rebuilt into something bigger, stronger, and way
Optimus
more recognizable.
Prime.
The newest
That's what
commander of
Zeke
the
has.
Autobots had risen, Optimus Prime.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
Optimus is a powerful warrior with tons of awesome robo powers.
As a Transformer, he
I
can
ain't gonna lie,
scan
the
nearby
best
objects
parts
and
of
morph
those
his body to resemble one,
Transformers
becoming
movies,
a robot in
Optimus Prime.
disguise.
His favorite is a classic 1979 Kenworth K100 tractor. An oldie but a goodie which sports 500 horsepower and can book it over 80 miles per hour. He even gets a trailer which, when he doesn't need it,
You
mysteriously
can barely do that
disappears
now in
into
these
thin
modern
air.
tractor
No,
trailers.
really, where the hell does that thing go? I need to know.
More importantly, the life force of every Transformer resides in
I think
their
65
spark,
of
sort of
the
like a
best
soul.
thing,
And Optimus
and then
is
the
no different,
computer stops you. before you
except that
pass.
his spark gives him a few unique abilities.
Yeah, his spark's pretty rare. Compared to other robo people, it gives him increased strength, speed, and durability.
Of course, he's
he
the
can
leader,
shoot laser beams
so
from
he has
his
to be
hands,
better
fly
than
with either a jetpack or his feet boosters, and move his limbs around while they're detached like some sort of ghost robot Rayman. Ooh!
Optimus is referred to as a 0.1%er. That is how rare a being of his caliber is.
Is that what
He's a
all those
1%.
people on Wall
He's a
Street were
0.1%.
protesting?
Even then, many of Optimus's abilities are further enhanced thanks to his possession of one of the most powerful artifacts in Cybertron's history, the Matrix of Leadership.
Oh, yeah, you know, it's nothing
I don't
much.
remember
It's just a piece of
I remember the
robot
Matrix.
dot.
The Matrix is a
I didn't
conduit
know it
for
was
the
called
power
the
of
Matrix
Primus,
of
the
Leadership.
creator of the Transformer race. With this, Optimus can heal some of his most grievous wounds.
What? Not all the time.
Yeah, like when he died.
You know, when he died.
And use
I always thought that was cool that he turned black.
to light our darkest hour.
Well, he has an impressive
and then when
arsenal
he
to
died.
hopefully keep that particular problem from coming up again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never again.
shit.
Regardless, he wields the Ion Blaster, a giant death cannon which Prime one-hands like a boss. This big old rifle
He's a
fires
giant
bolts of
robot.
energy strong enough to take down most Decepticons, and can even be fired into space from ground level. Even better, it never seems to run out of ammo.
So it's a,
One can
it's a
only
light
dream.
gun. or some
Optimus
shit.
Prime also carries numerous weapons composed of Energon, a raw energy force used by Transformers to power their technology and, well, themselves.
He's got a glowy Energon axe and Energon swords, perfect for slicing up robots of all sizes.
That's actually a
And
really
I guess
good
they probably
game.
work pretty good on people too.
Fighting fire with fire, Optimus Prime led the fight against the Decepticons for several millennia. Eventually, the war even found its way to our own Earth.
But we've got nothing to
Of course,
worry
we
about
gotta
with
play
Optimus
humans.
protecting the planet. He's tanked blasts that would tear other bots apart, like when this mega refinery exploded. It can be seen from outer space. He's punched the ground so hard, the trees around him freaking exploded.
Child's play, Boomstick. He's strong enough to tip this large oil tanker, which, when compared to the real-life Sea-Wise giant, must weigh over 700,000 tons.
He's tossed a satellite into orbit and punched hard enough to crack Six Shot's chest plate.
Who boasted that his armor was drawn from the compacted subatomic matter of a collapsed star. Just to let you know, such a star would have a density of over 300 billion tons per cubic inch. While great density
That's
doesn't
bullshit.
necessarily
How long that
beget
would
great
take to make?
toughness, this still means Six Shot's armor was
A
500
long
billion
fucking
times
time.
more dense than osmium, the most dense natural material on Earth.
You're the most dense natural
I need to look
material
up some
on
of these
Earth.
things.
What'd you
I've
say?
never heard
And
of
our
some of
Robo
these.
Commander wrecked it. He's
These
fast enough
metals
to
and
catch
shit
up
they
to
do.
this Decepticon space shuttle in just 23 seconds.
Given the size of
It's
the
been a long
Earth here
time
and
since
the
I've
angle of
taken
ascent, we
chemistry.
can determine he's moving around
I don't know, new
125,000
metals
miles per
and-
hour. He's also a talented leader, capable of commanding 1,000 battles at the same time via the Omniglobe.
Like Skynet, but in a giant disco ball. He's used that crazy strength of his to punch through Megatron, who once tanked an explosion big enough to knock Cybertron out of orbit. And thanks to the
Well, they
weird
basically
robo
like
magic
Superman,
of the
like,
Matrix, he's
he
even
can
defeated
survive.
Unicorn,
Unicron.
who's basically
I'm about to say,
a
isn't
giant
that- I'm
robot
about to say
Satan who
Unicorn.
eats planets. This guy is
It's basically
unstoppable.
like he's
Not
almost immune
necessarily.
to everything.
Optimus is certainly powerful, but
Except
after all
other
is said and done,
people
he
who are
has
just as
one
strong,
major
stronger than he
weakness.
is.
To violate that law would destroy our honor.
He's just too nice.
Yeah, he's kinda all about the whole honor and fair fighting thing, which kinda screwed him over more than once, and even gotten him killed multiple times. Plus, he killed himself once just because he accidentally broke the rules in a freaking game. Damn.
But
Damn,
when his
that's-
back is to the wall and all
he's
hell's
devoted to
breaking
his
loose,
morals,
he'll
that's for
fight to the end, riding the eye of the storm.
One shall stand.
Oh yeah.
One
You
shall
got the
fall.
touch. You got the power.
In the year 2179, humanity has embraced the stars.
Didn't they
Well,
make this
mostly.
song just for that
Right.
movie?
After a somewhat united humanity expanded across the solar system, the ideologies between those on Earth and those in space began to drift apart. A new space-noid republic, the Principality of Xeon, arose to challenge the Earth Federation.
Space Noid? That like the Domino's pizza mascot, but in space?
No, more like space Nazis.
Wow.
Oh, well, I guess it's no surprise that they started a war by gassing a populated space colony and dropping the whole thing on the planet. Man, that's
Sheesh.
messed up. But that's just how it started. For the real star of the show, some smart guys put their heads together and came up with the coolest thing they could think of. Giant fighting robots!
These were mobile suits, and one of Earth's nuttier engineers had developed a suit which would put all others to shame. This was the RX-78-2, otherwise known as
And of course,
the
it has to
Gundam.
go with a troublemaker is the only one that can
There have
pilot
been
it
lots of
successfully.
mobile suits named Gundam, but this was the original granddaddy of them all.
This experimental mobile
Oh,
suit was
okay, they
hidden on a
going with
remote
that one.
colony. But before its maiden voyage with the equally classified white base could
Yeah, this
begin,
isn't-
it was
this
caught
isn't
in
the
a
one I
surprise
watched.
Xeon attack.
With just 2 Zaku suits, the space Nazis wiped out almost
Assigned
all
to
of the
white
base's
base.
military crew.
Why gotta be white?
The only people left to
Or why
see
can't
these
have black
secret
bases?
projects were civilians who had no idea
Or-
these things even existed.
Among those
Chinese
who rose up was a
bases.
young boy named Amuro Ray. Brilliance.
I was
albeit
gonna say
standoffish,
yellow, but I said that
Amuro was
might
actually the son of the
be
Gundam's chief
racist.
engineer, and had already stumbled upon the mech's coded blueprints.
So he grabbed the owner's manual, jumped in the Gundam, and flew into the fight. Damn, not too shabby
Yeah,
for going
you
off
know,
just
it'll
the
take
manual.
years
Amuro
to
quickly
learn how
adapted
to
to its complex controls thanks to its learning computer system, designed
Oh,
so the
okay,
Gundam
that makes
itself
sense.
can learn its pilot's limitations and compensate.
Its body is made of a super
So his
durable
Iron
Luna
Man's
titanium
fixed.
alloy called Gundarium. Of course.
Yet another fictional metal that's way better than anything in real life.
For weapons, it's got twin 60mm Vulcan guns for ears. It's got a shield that can block shots strong enough to take down warships, and a gravity hammer, a supersized flail that's rocket propelled. Whoever came up with that is my goddamn hero.
What?
Same with the guy who built the ultra-destructive beam rifle.
That would be the ingenious Dr. Minovsky. Thanks to him, the beam rifle is a marvelous feat of weapons engineering. Minovsky had developed a way to
big fucking
miniaturize
head.
the enormous megaparticle cannons
real
found on
smart.
warships without losing
Big brains make
The result
Really
is a
smart, right?
Gundam-sized rifle that can take down entire
It's like the
fleets
leader
of ships all on
from
its
the Hulk.
own. It's like having a pistol with all the power of 1,000 tanks.
A single shot could easily tear through a 13,000-ton Musai-class warship. Given the official stats of this ship, to tear it asunder like so would require a strike worth nearly 9,000 tons of TNT.
Sure, the beam
Sometimes
rifle
I feel like
only
they
has
be making
16
these
shots,
damn
but
numbers.
who really cares when
just
you
pull a
just
number
need
out of
one?
my ass. No one's
Last
gonna
but
do
not
research.
least, the
Some
Gundam
people
carries
actually
two
do, like,
retractable
two.
beam sabers.
Because you can't have
don't-
space
they only
battles
care
without
about
royalty-free
the people
lightsabers.
who.
But all
they're like,
these
"Oh,
amazing
I thought
weapons would be
your
useless
suit- I mean, I
without
thought
an
Goku
exceptional
should've wanted
pilot.
his suit, man.
Despite
Some
still
do the
technically being
number.
a civilian, Amuro became the main pilot for the Gundam. Turns out his skill was mostly thanks to his previously
like, who the
unknown
fuck-
abilities.
Yeah,
Amuro
like, it's not
was
that
a
big
new
a deal.
type.
Like
Any
Pokemon.
writer can write any story and have
Apparently,
anybody
humankind
win.
was never meant to
They'll
live
figure
under
some
gravity's
reason out.
pull. In space, without it literally weighing down their souls, some humans developed psychic powers.
That is the dumbest
What-
backstory for why someone gets powers, and we've heard a lot of them, Wiz. So what? You can like read minds or something?
Sort of. These powers and their
Pyro
capabilities have
piece.
little
I mean,
definition,
I said
often
pyro
differing
piece,
between different
psycho
people.
piece.
Most new types can instantly understand each other upon
I saw
contact,
P and
even
kinesis
drawing
on my
kinship
mind
between
automatically
sworn
went to
enemies.
pyro
Amro's abilities in
kinesis.
particular grant him something akin to precognition. He can predict exactly what will
Precog.
happen on the battlefield
I would
and
love
where
to
his
have that.
enemies
I would
will
love to
be,
have
and can
precognition
capitalize
rather
on it
than
if he
telepathy.
reacts fast enough.
How could he possibly predict I'd attack from the other side?
Kind of like the way Nicolas Cage was in.
He shot
I
down
would love to
targets
have
too fast for the eye to see, and navigated his friends through a collapsing fortress with no casualties.
Well, I guess
By
that
the end
happened
of
when
the
you're
war,
shooting
his
light.
own reflexes were pushing the limits of the Gundam itself.
A magnetic coating was added to the Gundam to compensate, reducing the suit's friction and increasing its speed by 27%.
Over 14 years of military service, Amuro became a legendary pilot. He even learned how to use these super fast funnel guns with his Psycho Wazza powers.
Speaking of speed, the
Psycho
Gundam is comparable
wusses.
to the red Zaku piloted by Amro's rival Shaw,
Uh-huh.
which is 3
Rata.
times faster than the standard G model.
During the first large-scale battle with mobile suits, a Zaku flew through the battlefield in 7 seconds.
By comparing the 1,072-foot-long Magellan-class starships in the distance, we can tell the Zaku flew over 7 miles. This puts the standard Zaku's top speed just under Mach 5. When tripled to compare to Char, this means the Gundam can move at least 11,000 miles per hour, 15 times the speed of sound. Highballing it with Amro's new type powers and magnetic coating, it's possible the Gundam can move as fast as Mach 25. Though anything over that would put it dangerously close to re-entry speeds, which its chassis cannot survive on its own.
The Gundam is strong enough to lift and throw this goofy mobile suit, and tough enough to power through a magnetic field that's 7,200 degrees Fahrenheit. It survived plenty of really big explosions, including a detonating asteroid and a nuclear blast which wrecked Amuro's home colony. I bet it could wipe out the space Nazis all on its own.
It nearly did. Amuro and his Gundam were instrumental to the war effort. It doesn't matter how much the Gundam was burned. It would always stand up, dispel the fear, and fly.
The hell is this? Are they game?
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, let me transform your eating habit.
No thanks. Iron Man need to build a big stupid for Avengers 4. It's more than me see. Oh my god.
Let's roll.
Let's roll. You don't even know who that was. Why would you just attack him? Optimus? Oh yeah, he's precog. Just like this 80s theme type music.
Vile Decepticon, I have been empowered.
Oh, he thinks he's a Decepticon. Nice drop kick. Oh, he about to cut his arm off? Oh no, he hit your lightsaber.
Not today.
Oh, he's like, I got a gun, motherfucker. He's like, sight. Oh, don't bring your ass to Earth with that bullshit.
I hate gravity.
If you want to play an awesome mobile suit type game, play it. It's a game called Rad. I forget what that. I think it's like robotic armament defense or some shit. I know it's called Rad. Great fucking game where you control a giant robot. Oh, that was cool. I was tired. Oh no!
Stop that. I'm just bad.
I must stand, so you shall fall.
Yeah, look, that should kill him. It's a human inside. Oh, that's. He's like Omega Beam. What was that Iron Man? No, I'm thinking about Piccolo. What's that?
KO! He's got
Special
the
beam
touch.
cannon.
He's got the power!
The Gundam was an impressive machine, and Amuro was a skilled pilot, but Optimus's millions of years of battle
Yeah,
experience completely overshadowed Amuro's 14.
The fact that
also, we
his
already know that
human
Optimus
error
was over 6 times faster and
was enough to make him
9,000
lose,
times
obviously.
stronger.
Holy hell! Who knew Optimus was so freaking buff? But the Gundam held plenty of its own advantages. With Amuro's super future sense powers, he could keep up with Optimus's speed. And with the Gundam's firepower, who cares how much it could lift?
Unfortunately, the Gundam's limited ammunition meant this couldn't last. And even then, Optimus could certainly survive a shot from the beam rifle.
Remember that refinery explosion Optimus survived? The one you could see from outer space?
This blast left an enormous gash on the planet Cybertron. To measure the power of this explosion, we needed to compare it to the curve of the planet. Now, Cybertron's size is pretty inconsistent throughout G1 Transformers history, but even
Like
when
anything
using the
fictional,
alternating
very
sizes between the
inconsistent.
cartoon and the comics, the blast is far more destructive than the beam rifle in both cases.
And Optimus just walked right out of that bitch. And this isn't some weird outlier just out of the comics either. In the cartoon, Megatron survived a blast that pushed Cybertron out of orbit. And he's pretty comparable to Optimus.
To be fair, the Gundam boasted some impressive durability feats too.
Like when Amuro accidentally blew up a Zaku's nuclear reactor right in his own face. Hey, give him a break. It was his first time.
This explosion created a hole in the space colony which sucked out Amuro's father.
Whoops. On the bright side, he's gonna save some money on Father's Day gifts, right?
And with his heightened mind, he reduced the scope of the
It's a
explosion.
dark way of
It's
thinking
over
about it.
150,000 kilotons of TNT. That's 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb that dropped on Hiroshima, but still nowhere close to the refinery explosion Optimus survived.
Also, the Gundam couldn't dodge Optimus's ion blaster forever. It was fast enough to strike targets in orbit from ground level. That puts its laser speed over 3 million miles per hour.
Even when he knew it was coming, Amuro couldn't react quick enough to dodge or block anything that fast. And even then, Optimus's time in the Omni-Globe proves he can think way faster than Amuro.
And just to blow your mind even more,
Yeah, he's a
in order
robot.
to obliterate Unicron with the Matrix, the energy output must have equaled more than 40 yotatons of TNT.
Like the Star Wars
Or
guy.
is he an android?
And you know what they say, size matters not, especially when Optimus has defeated opponents as big as Devastator.
The Gundam was a powerful mobile suit with some astonishing
For
firepower.
some reason, I'm the
but
brain
was
fart. I
ultimately
can't
outmatched
remember
by
the
the
difference
Autobot's
between
strength,
android and
speed,
robot.
durability, and experience.
I'd say Optimus was primed for this fight.
The winner is Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. Oh,
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see the
Optimus
exclusive
Prime.
commentary on this episode, just click that little box over there. And if you want the battle music for yourself, click the link down below and you can get it off of iTunes. See you in the next one.
Next time. Oh, they're doing a live action? Yeah. Okay, Nightwing and Daredevil. Really? Hey, is that the guy? That look like the guy who did he did Quicksilver and the Bad in the Sun YouTube channel, I think. He Quicksilver for the Flash. That looked like this guy who did Quicksilver, who played Quicksilver. I see they got the Netflix Daredevil suit. You know, at first I didn't like that suit. Well, I didn't like it. It was okay. It was like, I was like, alright. But it grew on me a little bit. Maybe because the show was actually good. Well, the first show I thought was good. The first part of the second season I thought was good. But overall, it's a good show. So the suit kind of grew on me. My brother hates it though. He hates that suit. He likes the classic, just all red. I still like that, but I mean, it doesn't. Either one doesn't bother me. But that's cool. They finally doing a live action. They going over into Bad in the Sun territory. I haven't seen Bad in the Sun do a video in a while. They could have been doing it. Maybe I just haven't gotten a notification with how finicky YouTube is all of a sudden. Well, I say all of a sudden they've been doing it for years now, but not notifying me of stuff. But that was pretty cool. Optimus Prime won. Like I said, obviously, I knew because I'm a precog. I knew he was going to win. I just wanted to keep that suspense so you didn't know. But like I said, I always thought, Optimus Prime is basically the Superman of Transformers. Like Goku is the Superman of Dragon Ball Z. It's the same formula that pretty much everybody kind of follows, and they make they make little changes to things, but it's basically the same form. But that was awesome. I don't even need to dwell on that too much anymore. Good job, Death Battle. You get a thumbs up approval from me, whatever that means to you. I'm gonna like the video. I hope anyone who watches this likes it. Maybe you hit that subscribe button. Maybe I would appreciate it. But thanks for watching, everybody. Now it's time to roll out.